Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how to upgrade the SSD in your Onexplayer APEX. Now, this is going to be a bit of a different video because I'm going to take some footage from my Legion Go SSD upgrade video and I'm going to implant it into this. And that's because I didn't actually upgrade the SSD on the APEX because it's a loaner device. But what I can do is I can show you how to get to the SSD, how to actually physically remove it and replace it, and then how to put it back together. The other part that's missing is how do you actually clone this SSD? And that's where the Legion Go footage comes in. So if you're confused on why I'm talking about the Legion Go, that's why. I'm just wanting to show you the full process. So with that caveat out of the way, let's dive into it. Okay, so to upgrade the SSD, there are a few things that you need. Now, pretend this is the APEX. I had to send it back, and while I was recording this, this is just going to serve as a model. So what we're going to need is an SSD enclosure. You can use pretty much anything you find on Amazon. I'll leave a link for a couple of them down in the description, and you can pick up, the one that I link, or you can pick up a different one. It doesn't really matter. You want to place your SSD in here, and before we move on to the next stage, the next part of this video, we're going to plug this into our device, and then we're going to go through the cloning process. So just make sure that your SSD is ready to go, plugged in, and then that'll take you for the next part of this video. But I also wanted to show you some tools that you're going to need. So you're going to need a couple of different pry tools. There's the guitar pick looking one that is good for popping the clips on the side. This one is good for removing some of the different cables that are on the inside, and sometimes you need just a little bit more leverage. You'll also need something to pop the tray for the mini SSD. I recommend using a paper clip or even a SIM card popper. If you have a paper clip that has some coating, just make sure to strip it off the edge so that you can get it in there and you don't end up messing it up. And then lastly, of course, you need a screwdriver. This is a Phillips number 0. I'm using the iFixit kit. You don't have to use this kit, but I do strongly recommend it. It's a great kit for pretty much all of the electronic repairs that I've done. I've used this thing for a couple of years now. I'll leave a link to this in the description as well. So the first thing that we're going to take a look at is actually cloning your SSD that's in the device over to your new one. So we're going to take a look at the Legion Go as our example. Let's jump into that. And now that we have everything connected and ready to go, we can go to our Legion Go and download the cloning software and get things ready. I'm going to switch to my screen recording so you can see it a little bit more clearly. Now we can go ahead and get some software to actually do the cloning. So today we're going to use Macrium Reflect because it offers a free month trial, so you could just get the trial and get it done. No need to purchase if you're only going to be using it the once. Now you can just click on the link for their website and scroll down till you find the trial for the home edition. We don't need any other editions, just scroll all the way down for Reflect 8 Home Trial. Once you click next, you're going to see that you're going to need to enter your email here. So go ahead and enter your email. And once you've done that, then just click continue. Here you can opt in or out of emails. I would just leave it and click download. Once you've finished that, you can check your email and you'll get an email that looks kind of like this that will have your registration code along with a link that you need to click to register. Copy your registration code and then click on the link in the email. The link will automatically start your download. So once that's finished, go ahead and click on the .exe file and then just go ahead and click on the download button. My screen recording actually glitched here, so don't be thrown off by the ROG Ally section that I'm going to show next. It's the same steps on both devices. Now, once it's installed, go ahead and press accept. And this is where you put your license key if you purchased, but we got the trial, so we're just going to make sure that's checked and click next. And then it'll tell you when it's going to expire and you can go ahead and start. So you'll need to input your registration code that you got from your email, as well as input your email address, the same one that you'd use to sign up. Then we can click next, and we'll click next again and install. Click finish and you should be good to go. Once you're done installing, one thing to note is you will have to reboot your system again. Once you've finished rebooting, let's search for Macrium Reflect and go ahead and open up the app. Once the app opens up, you can go ahead and select your theme. So I'm going to select dark mode, and then you can move on to the actual cloning process. You'll want to click on clone this disk, and you want to make sure that the right destination is selected. So let's click on this to make sure. And I'm going to click on my 1 terabyte drive as that's the one that I want to use. Next, you want to click on copy partitions, then click on shrink or extend to fill the target disk. This will ensure that all of the extra storage that you're gaining here is actually accessible to you and it's not put in some partition that you don't have access to. So now we can go ahead and click next and then click next again. So you can give this a review if you want, or just go ahead and skip past it and press next. Now for the backup save option, you can change where it's saved or what it's called, or you can just go ahead and press OK. Now it's going to run through the cloning process. This takes a few minutes, so we'll come back when it's done. And now that it's done, we can go ahead and close it and check to make sure that everything actually worked. And if we check File Explorer, you can see that everything is copied over to my new SSD. So it looks like we're good to go. So let's shut down and get started with the install process. Okay, so now that we've gone through all that, let's actually take a look at what we need to do here. So the first thing is obviously make sure the device is powered down, and you're also going to want to take off the battery. So just pull the clips, put the battery aside, and you're good to go. If you take a look at the back of the device, there's no screws here for you to take out, which is good. So I can't say for sure on the liquid cooled model if there's anything here that has to be removed, but on this model there isn't, so keep that in mind. There might be slight variances for the liquid cooled model. Once I get mine, I'll take a look at that and I can drop a comment if there is anything different. Okay, next for the screws, where are they? They're actually at the top and the bottom, but for the top, there's a plate here that you have to pop loose. So I recommend going around the bumper and just gently prying up on one of the corners, and then you can slowly lift it up. I recommend using this tool. We'll get to that in a minute though. Taking a look at the bottom, what we have to remove here is 4 screws. They're kind of evenly spaced here. And also this mini SSD slot. So for that, that's where I recommend having a pin or having a paper clip, just something that you can stick in the hole here so that you can pop it out. And that's about it. That's all you have to do for getting the actual cover off. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to take out these bottom screws and then we'll carry on to the next step. Okay, so we've got the bottom all taken out here. The last thing is going to be this tray. So take your pin, put it in the right hole here and just push, and then you can actually just slide it right out. And this is what it looks like. So just put that aside and then the bottom is good to go. Now we can move on to the top. So as mentioned, we got to take this this little plate that's on here off. It's fairly straightforward. Basically, you want to come at the corner and you're just going to find somewhere that you can lift it. And you got to be very gentle. You don't want to damage anything. You may also find some luck with this pry tool. Actually, you know, I'm thinking about it now. This might be a better option, is use this guitar pick shaped pry tool. So what you want to do is get a finger under there. Now I've got this lightly popped up, and you just slowly want to pull this up. You may also benefit from popping from the other side too, just so that this last section isn't quite as difficult. Okay, so once you've got this off, this is what it looks like. We're gonna put that aside. There's also going to be some loose buttons, so make sure to put those aside as well. You don't have to really worry about, they're pretty straightforward for where they go. There's also one that's attached by a wire. Right here, there's this loose part. You just gotta be very careful not to damage that. Now that we've got the plate off, we can go ahead and take these screws off. There's one screw here, two screws in the middle, and then one last screw here. So we'll go ahead and take those out. So now we're going to take this pry tool, and what we need to do is work around the edge. So I recommend starting around the trigger, and you just kind of wedge this in there. And once you've got it in, you just need to run it along the edges. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Pull the back cover off gently. Just make sure all the clips are undone, including at the top. So it looks like a couple were still on here. And now that you've got it apart, you just can lift the cover away. Be mindful that there is a connection here, so just don't pull it away too harshly. That's basically how you get into the device. If you're looking to change the SSD or do any kind of repair, that's basically how you do it. Even maintenance like cleaning the device. Okay, so if you're looking to actually take the SSD out and swap it, it's underneath this fan, so it's very easy access. I'll show you how to get to it. So to take this fan off, it's pretty easy. Use your same screwdriver, the 0 Phillips head, and there's basically a screw here and here, and that's it. Then you got to remove the tape. So very, very simple. So we're going to take the fan off, and now we can lift up the fan. You can see that the fan is now loose. We can take the tape off here. Just make sure you don't throw away the tape. You're going to want to stick it back on when you're done. So you can peel it off of the heatsink here, the fins there, and you can unplug this if you want further down, or in my case, I'm just going to set it aside. Now you have access to the SSD, so it's pretty straightforward to get to. Now that we have this off, what I recommend is you can remove this ribbon cable just so that you can get easier access. We're going to lift this up, just take our pry tool, and we're going to pop it up like that. Now we have full access. So basically we have one screw here to take off if you want to take it out. And all you have to do is take the one screw out. And make sure to put your screw aside. Now you can take your SSD out. If you're curious about the SSD, that's the brand. So my autofocus is struggling here, so hopefully you can read that. Now that we've taken out the SSD, I'm not actually going to change it. I'm just showing you the process. I'm going to stick the original back in, but this is where you'd put your new SSD that's already formatted in. So you just want to slot it in here. Make sure that this ribbon cable is out of the way. And then you just want to screw it back down. Okay, now that we have the SSD in here, we can go ahead and put the device back together now. Okay, now that we've got the SSD back in, I've got it slotted in here at the bottom. I've got all the cables here plugged back in. Now we can go ahead and reassemble. So to do that, we're first going to put our fan back. And you want to line it up. Make sure that the wires are not in like a weird spot. So just tuck these wires to the side, just like they would have been when you first started. And once you've got it aligned, you can lift this tape and then you can just stick the tape back on. Make sure you have it sealed up. And that'll partially hold it in place for you so you can put the screws in. These screws are, they're kind of obvious. They're a little bit of a fatter head. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put those in. Okay, so our fans are in. It looks like everything's good. Now what we could do is we can start to put the device itself back together. So there's nothing internally that we need to do anymore because I'll double check everything. So you want to make sure all your cables here that we had touched. And if you were watching my other video, I kind of took everything apart. I did it at the same time. So I just want to make sure that even though you didn't see it on this video, that I have everything plugged in. All right, so now what we can do is we can go ahead and put the back cover back on. So just make sure that this wire at the bottom, like for the battery cable right here, doesn't get pinched. You just want to make sure that that's in there. I recommend putting it on the bottom, like tilting up and then pushing it down. Now once we get to the top, you just want to help it out. Make sure that it lines up proper. And if everything is looking good, you can start to click it back together. And you're going to hear like some clicking noises like that. Okay, now that we got everything clicked back together, we can start to put the screws back in. And this is where we need to make sure that we have these buttons aligned once we put everything back together as far as this cover. So just a reminder that there's 5 of them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you may need to pinch the device just to make sure that they're aligned. All right, so we've got the screws on the top here. So now we need to align the buttons and put our volume button that we had taken off back on. So for this, it's gonna be a little hard to see with the lighting I have here and the focus, but basically there's 2 little legs that pop out that you just have to hook onto these little pegs here that stick out. So once you've got that aligned, it should be good. And this is the power button. And then the second button that you're going to want to align is the volume rocker. So it's not going to be perfect. You just kind of lay it in here for now. And then you're going to have to align it while you're putting the cover back on. Okay, now that we've got the top done, we have 4 screws to put in and then also our tray. So I'll go ahead and put these screws in. And then the last step here is to insert our tray again. And now that we've got everything back together, we just need to boot up our device. So keep in mind that this may take a moment to actually boot up because we've unplugged the battery and we've also changed the SSD. So just give it a moment, press the power button, and it may take a little bit longer than you originally thought. So that's basically the steps on how to upgrade your SSD. Hopefully this was straightforward. I know this video was kind of all over the place with having the Legion Go in there, showing the F1 Pro, but hopefully it was enough to get you through. I hope you enjoyed this video and thank you for watching.